You're watching Under the Surface, powered by Rio Tinto, your all-access pass to the Perth Wildcats. We're taking you closer to the action, the team, and the stories shaping our season. Coming up, we catch up with Keegan Crawford.
You know, you get guys in late, you deal with some injuries, so a lot of the times the team builds their chemistry in season as opposed to before or in previous years.
We celebrate with the All Abilities Carnival kids.
You just look at the faces and the smiles on the faces, not just from the children but the staff.
And go behind the scenes with Jesse Wagstaff through the Rio Tinto Pathways program.
My name's Jess Wagstaff. I'm a productivity analyst for Rio Tinto and I also play for the Wildcats. Rio and our work moves quite fast, so obviously I can't be in on everything and I'd take a while to catch up, but I think that's the perils of, I guess, part-time work. I try to get in as many meetings and things like that as possible. I feel like that's where I really learn the best and be able to experience and hear other people talk about the business. But other than that, yeah, it's trying to follow people around, trying to contribute in any way I can, but yeah, it's primarily at a desk, not on the court. Yeah, look, Rio and the Wildcats partnership probably started around 2 years ago, and it all started from that. You know, I was really keen to explore some opportunities in I guess the corporate space. Quite old now, and I'm well aware that my basketball career is not going to last a lifetime, so to prepare for life outside of basketball, I thought it'd be kind of prudent to see what was available, and I was lucky enough and fortunate enough that they put me in a spot in business improvement where I could really see all aspects of the business. Look, I think as professional athletes we have a lot to offer, and it's certainly not in the technical skills of a business, it's probably in the soft skills, the leadership, the communication, the time management, things like that. I think we've had to really excel at as elite athletes. As I said, the technical skills are certainly a weak spot. I know very little about mining. Hopefully I know more about mining than I did 2 years ago. And that is why I think it's so refreshing. I can really kind of escape my, I guess, on-court persona, if you will. Not that it's a mask or anything, but I can really be a different person. It's in the city, I'm wearing a different uniform, I'm doing different things. And, you know, vice versa, on court I can forget about what I'm doing at Rio and be who I am on court. So, you know, those two different environments and two different worlds, they're very different, but at the same time I think that's why I find it so refreshing to be in both. Look, I guess my mindset has been education was key. You know, I spent the last 15, 16 years kind of constantly studying, which isn't for everyone. I realise that, you know, a lot of people and a lot of athletes don't like schooling, and that's certainly okay. But if you don't like schooling, I think you've really got to experience things. You've got to try as many different things as possible just to see what you like. And, you know, that's what this opportunity has given me. I've been able to see so many parts of the business that I wouldn't have been able to see. And that is key when you're an athlete. You just don't get those experiences. So to be able to see that and to, I guess, fine tune and really see what I want after, you know, I still don't know, but at least it set me in the right direction. I really hope that, you know, more of the Lynx players and more of the Wildcats players can experience it. I think it's so valuable. I think there's a lot of synergies between elite sport and business.
Do people hit you up for tickets to the game?
It is a different world. I remember one time I was actually in at work at Rio. I should be probably more specific. I actually had a Wildcats promo at one of the town halls, so I brought a Wildcats shirt in with me, walked over to the convention centre, put a Wildcats shirt on, and people who I'd been in the office with 10 minutes earlier were coming up and asking for an autograph. I was like, this is really weird. Like, I'll give you one back at the office. Like, I got posters. Like, do you want a poster? And it's quite bizarre. But yeah, no, I've certainly given the team tickets, and my wife usually uses tickets with the kids. But yeah, I'm more than happy to go either way. Like, it's me living in two worlds, or at least trying.
My name is Sunday Detch. I'm number 8 for the Perth Wildcats and I play guard. I think I've played all the sports growing up as a kid. It's just what you do, especially in Perth. and it was too hot one day to play outside, and yeah, just went to the court with my brother. He made the rules very simple for me. He said, when this person has the ball, stay in front of them, and when we get it, run as fast as you can. We'll throw it over the top, and yeah, you get a lot of layups. Just fell in love with it right away. From that stage to now is a lot of hard work, and you know, obviously I'm blessed with some natural ability, but then just the work on top of that's able to, yeah, get me here right now. For myself, it was just watching Kobe Bryant, just the work he put in, the hours, the reps, and being a late starter, he was really someone I looked up to and kind of paved the way for myself, you know, to be where I am today. It was kind of the Lakers at that time, and watching him, you know, as much as we could. You definitely record all the games at night and go back and rewatch them. Played footy, you know, skateboarded, soccer, you name it, but played footy pretty seriously. Played at the North Beach Tigers growing up, and the Claremont District, so did that, and yeah, a couple of my mates are in the AFL now, so who knows what would have been.
Schofield lost the handle.
I was 19, playing in the SBL at the time, which is the NBL 1 West now, and then there was development player tryouts, got invited down to that, and yeah, I think made the next cut and the next cut, and next thing you know, you're a development player and you're rubbing shoulders with, you know, some of the greats in the state, and did that for 2 years as a development player. We won a championship my first year here, which was awesome. You look back and you're like, oh, this is easy. It's like you show up, you train, and you win games and championships. But yeah, a decade past now, it's not as easy. Then went to college for 3 years before coming back and joining the Wildcats again for the 2019 championship. Then headed over to Illawarra for a season, and then Adelaide for the last 5. Coming back home, new start, fresh start, and yeah, wearing number 8 for Kobe. The 8's the infinity as well, so I'd like to think it's closing the loop, because this is where I started my NBL career, and yeah, hopefully where I hang him up, just like Jesse will one day. You know, my play style's kind of aggressive in your face, but when I'm off the court, I just take naps, hang out with my friends and family, which is a big part of the reason of coming back home and playing here for the Wildcats again, which is massive. Being away from them over the past 6 to 7 years, you know, has been a bit difficult, and you don't really appreciate that until it's gone, so that's a big one, and yeah, just taking it pretty easy. I'm a pretty laid back guy. I used to read one book and try to finish it, but I think sometimes if the book's not interesting, like, I find it hard, and kind of that stretches over time, so now I just find something that I really enjoy. And right now I'm reading the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, rereading The Inner Game of Tennis, which was recommended to me by a friend not long ago, and Hidden Potential.
Ditch, guarded by Kenyon.
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is just to ride the highs and lows of it. Obviously, being at the heights of playing at the World Cup and the Olympics, and then also being at the lows where we won a couple games in a season.
Whittle with it again.
Looking back now, like, they've made me who I am, made me a better person. They made me a better player too, right? Because you take experience from one situation to the next, and you know how to deal with that a bit better next time. And when you look back, you see the body of work you put in, and it's something that you can be proud of, and something that you can, yeah, kind of take the next step forward.
My name's Elijah Pepper, my number's 40, and my position is shooting guard. 3, every day. I actually had my first dunk in NBL 1 earlier this year. I haven't dunked since high school in a game, so that was great. Oh, beach, 100%. I have 2 cats back home, but I like dogs. Can I say both? Both? Hawaii is probably a pretty good one. Done Hawaii once, that was fun. I wouldn't say it's hidden, but I'm really good at playing video games. At the moment, I play Apex Legends, but all time I think Black Ops 2. Outside of myself, Doolittle probably. Oh, Diamonds by Rihanna. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Night Owl. Always in my backpack. My passport. Both passports, actually. Australian and American. Favorite movie? Oh, Batman Dark Knight Rises. Oh, probably a police officer. Something in like law enforcement, I think. That's what interests me the most. And kind of part of what I studied in college. Favorite TV show? I'm watching Peaky Blinders right now. That's not a TV show, but close enough, right?
Yeah, Peaky Blinders is a TV show, isn't it? Yeah.
Sounds good. Peaky Blinders. Go to hangout spot. I have a cafe I really like to go to, and I'll sit there for like an hour sometimes. I go to, I don't know the name officially, but their cafe on top says Cafe. It's in Subiaco. It's gotten to the point to where like I walk up and they have my order memorized. So like if I'm getting food, I'll always get an omelet, but I get a side of syrup to put on my omelet, which might be a weird thing, American thing. And they have it memorized. Like I don't even have to ask for the syrup anymore.
One of the highlights of the Wildcats calendar is the All Abilities Carnival, a celebration of community, connection, and a love of basketball.
Oh, they were so excited. They were excited that they were going to get a top and meet some players and just meet other schools. You just look at the faces and the smiles on the faces, not just from the children but the staff.
Have you won any games?
Actually, I have.
Which ones have you won?
I won like one over there. So we went up against this yellow team and they were pretty good, but there was a lot of sportsmanship and great teamwork.
It gets them involved in sport and really enthusiastic about sport, which is a really big thing. A lot of these kids feel they can't compete in sport, and this gives them the opportunity to do so. And it just gives them that sort of thirst for sport and and the energy and getting out and involved, and in a way that it's equal for everybody.
I'm not very good at basketball and stuff, but as long as I at least have a bit of fun, then I'm fine with it.
As we've only done this for sort of 3 years, we wanted to get through the high school kids, but now there's just such a demand for the younger primary school kids. And so this is our first kind of toe in the water. But as you can see, the first 5 minutes, the kids have just taken to it. Some of them were super nervous, pretty anxious, but at the end of the day, they're just really happy to get out there and run around, yeah.
I think there's some joy and some inspiration, but I also really like the fact that we're connecting kids with some athletes who can maybe inspire them, be a role model, show them what's possible.
You know, what we'd love to do is maybe do this more than just a one-day carnival. If we can build this, make it sustainable, and make these kids look forward to something every week, I mean, that would be the ultimate goal for us.
You know, we've been doing this for a number of years now. Katie Reid does a fantastic job, obviously with the support of Rio, but to get, all the education support schools in one spot and to play against each other and make a day of it, as I said before, it's just the joy. I mean, it is genuine, just joy.
Time to catch up with assistant coach Keegan Crawford for his insights on the season, the squad's progress, and what it takes to keep the Wildcats at their best.
My name's Keegan Crawford. I'm assistant coach for the Perth Wildcats NBL team. So far our season's had some mixed results, some ups and downs in the win-loss column, but a lot of change, a lot of turnover with our personnel this year. But where we're currently at, we're happy with the group that we have. You have a lot of moving pieces in our league particularly, where there's quite high turnover with your team each year, and you get guys in late, you deal with some injuries, so a lot of the times the team builds their chemistry in season as opposed to before or in previous years. We think the depth is a huge strength of our program, and you have a lot of young guys that get opportunities, and JR is really great at making sure every guy stays ready for their opportunity each year, and it's going to open some players' eyes, some other teams' eyes, and hopefully guys really take it and run with it. Jaron's a super impressive young man. Like the way he's approached, the start of this season has been fantastic. Obviously, there's always some noise in any sort of player recruitment, but I think if you just look at his resume, what he was able to do at a D1 college level, absolutely more than deserving than a lot of people that already are in positions in the league. And statistically, all the NBL nerds like myself freak out about his plus minus and his impact, but just by watching, you can see how positive of an influence he has on our program. David Duke's been a really great addition to our roster so far. I've got the nickname Dookie on board, so anyone that wants to call him that is absolutely allowed to embrace it. But he comes with a high level pedigree with the IQ and athleticism. Like immediately, his ability to guard the ball, get 2 feet in the paint, speed up our offense is things that he can do straight away. From a coach's mindset, I think we've really done a good job on the defensive side of the ball. It's been a huge point of emphasis for us this year, obviously reflected in our recruiting in the offseason as well, but how we are now currently the best team at protecting the paint defensively, some of our defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, all those hustle kind of defensive areas are much improved. But as we have new pieces integrated in our chemistry, how guys like to play with each other, the actions that they want to play in, different guys want the ball in certain spots, like that will improve. And it's a huge focus for us on the offensive end at practice, and we grow in that area every day. Yeah, we're really lucky to play at home a little more in the second half of the season. Our change to schedule this year has been difficult, but a welcome addition. Like, I'm a big fan of playing more games in the NBL. I think it's an important thing that we do in a league, but it has resulted in a lot of early away games for us midweek, which is tough from a travel perspective, but we're really lucky to get to play in front of the Red Army in the back end of the season, when we're gelling as a team. It's interesting when people talk about JR and how we changed a little bit this year. He's the same old JR to me. I think, whether rightly or wrongly, there is a perception of him that exists, but the only thing that he cares about and the only thing that matters is, within the 4 walls of the basketball court. And he really does an excellent job every day with his staff and his players of getting the most out of them, and that hasn't changed from the second he stepped foot in our organization.
Worst fashion sense? Probably Pepper. I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen it. I feel like he just wears team gear. Oh. Sorry, Elijah, but probably Elijah.
I haven't been here long, but Pepper, he had his socks tucked into his sweatpants today. Not very good.
I don't know. I gotta wait till I see some of my new teammates dress, and then I'll compare and contrast.
Worst fashion sense. I'm trying to think of it. That might be me. I don't have great fashion. It's gotten better, but it's not good.
That's a wrap on episode 3 of Under the Surface. We'll be back next month with more behind-the-scenes access to your Perth Wildcats.